Mm-mm-mm.
I don't even know where to start. Um, but I'm putting everything out there because the fact that people, even whether you know me or not, you still there still has to be like a certain level of common sense when it comes to just being a judge of character. And this has nothing to do with TV at all, none of that. Like this is real life because kids are involved. And this deadbeat narrative, like it's just it's just so jarring to me. It it does give me a headache sometimes, but then I'm pretty good at just brushing things off. But people who know me and especially know my situation, they're like, yo, how long are you gonna stay quiet? And I just, I be sparing people. And then at the same time, it's like, yo, it's nobody's business. But I feel like everybody just feels like they know my business. And if it's reported, it's news and that it's the truth and it's real. But I'm pretty sure that, there's some men out there who can relate to this. And when it comes to being a father in a co parenting situation where somebody wants to have full control of every single thing and they can't have control, it's just not going to be a easy transition. Especially when the other person is just used to it being one way or very controlling or still wanting the whole family dynamic and it's not there anymore. But I love my kids, and it's gotten to the point that I I have to put myself first because I'm either gonna end up in jail or worse
Oh
because
wow.
I'm
Is she hitting on him?
dealing with someone whose anger management is just non-existent. When I first moved to Florida, I remember I got a moved to Florida, non-existent.
Oh shit. She threw that shit on the ground.
When I first moved to Florida, is just non-existent. When I
In front of the kids. That part is crazy to me. I get it. I get it. It's she acting wild without the kids, but the kids are there, man. You can't act like that.
first moved to Florida, I remember I got a two-bedroom condo, and the first time I had my kids come over there after my divorce, and I started the whole okay visitation, meeting, having my kids for the days I was having them. When my kids first came over in my condo, it made me so depressed because I was like, yo, they just, I felt like they were so confined and I didn't feel good about it. And
Hey man, he's
I said,
speaking real
yo,
right now.
I gotta get a house. I need a house. I can't have my kids running around in this condo and hurting themselves and just it just not being a fit to raise, two children in a co-parenting setup. And I found my house. And I'm gonna be all the way blunt and straight up with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I got this house because of my kids. I got this house for my kids. Seeing my kids be here running around, it's the best feeling, you know? You know, when you have children with somebody who at the end of the day it shouldn't even have happened because I should have just noticed certain things when it came to parenting. You know, when you're with someone for 3 years and they have a child and you probably saw the child 3 to 4 times because the child was put off to go live with somebody else. And, you know, you kind
Man,
of
he's speaking real.
look past it when you don't have kids.
He's speaking facts right now. I mean, Safari is crying. So you could tell he loves his children, man. And you could tell he loves his children at all of it, at least.
So you're not thinking about that. I never even was like, yo, why doesn't was like, yo, why doesn't your son live here? And then when you finally get to have a conversation with the son and find out why, it's crazy. You know, imagine speaking to a child who's of age and knows what's going on. He's 16 years old. And he says,
Yeah, 16, you know what's going on, really. And from these clips, man, this lady's she's throwing furniture around. She's throwing furniture
jail
around. She's hitting
or
them
worse,
in front of the kids.
because I'm dealing
Look at
in
the kids,
jail
bro.
or worse.
The kid, look at, bro. This is crazy right here. This kid is like, what's going on? That kid is forever traumatized by this lady for just acting like you can't act out like
because
that in
I'm
front of children, bro.
in jail.
In general, but look at the baby. This is sad right here. Let's be real. This is like hip hop heist family therapy right here. Cuz is like, I'm just gonna numb it out because he's a baby. Shit is scary to him. This kid is like, I don't know what's going on. Oh my god. This is terrible, bro. What the fuck, bro? Why would she be hitting them like that in front of the kids? No matter what. I mean, no matter what. It could be, obviously, I mean, he said he's on the phone with the police. You know, she could have caught him doing the worst, right? What is it? Cheating, right? Not in front of the kids, man. Not in front of the kids, man.
Or worse, because I'm dealing with someone who is just whose anger managed. Why? It's crazy. You know, imagine speaking to a child who's of age and knows what's going on. He's 16 years old. And he says, if I ever had to live with my mother, I would kill myself.
You should feel like a stupid then for having kids with her, you dummy. Think about that. That's crazy. He said his child just told him, I'd kill myself if I had to live with my mother.
I wouldn't make that up, you know. And it sucks that I gotta like really just run this down because.
Hey, real quick, man. Appreciate y'all watching Hip Hop Heist, man. Like and subscribe. That shit is free. If you do want to do a little extra and help out the whole vibe and the content creation process, hit Cash App 432 Jasper. We're gonna get that rocking, but we're gonna keep bringing this content because it's about the news, not about the old.
Of this smear campaign and somebody who gets such a high on just talking about me and picking and choosing what kids you want to, you know, have on the forefront and get whatever extra attention you get off of it. You know, so I kind of just looked past certain things and thought that, you know, maybe I could help and make things better. But when you aren't with somebody and it doesn't work out, and the two of you are just like in a weird space and everything is a fight, especially in front of the kids, like I'm not going to subject myself to that. My kids have never, ever seen, I'm not going to subject myself to that. My kids have never, ever seen me.
She said, I'm gonna take my bags, but first I'm gonna hit this cause doll real quick.
Upset to that. My kids have never, the kids, like, I'm not going to subject myself to that.
She said, I'm gonna get all these bags though. Let me get all these bags ready.
My kids have never, ever seen me upset. My kids have never heard me yell.
You're dead to me. Yeah, you are too. You is dead. You're gonna leave me more than I need you. No. Before I need you.
Oh yeah, so okay, this lady, she's toxic then. I mean, if this footage holds up, this mother is a wild mother, and she looks shit. You feel me? I'm not even gonna say it, but she look. You know what I mean? We ain't even gonna go there, but the car is white. Let's just say that the car is white, and the kids are in the car, and she's speaking crazy.
Remember that. More than I need you. No. Before I need you. Remember that. Nice flow, Linda. Yeah, go ahead. You too, bitch. Go ahead. Go ahead. Because your other two kids are gonna be miserable just like you. Oh, fuck all of y'all. Go ahead. Jerk off. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. All of y'all. Go ahead. All because of you. All because of you. All because of you.
I don't argue. That's just not in me. But, you know, on the other hand, the other side, they don't operate or think the way I do. And
hold up real quick. All right, y'all still here, man?
when I have my kids and someone is pretty much trying to police and parent and like watch every single thing I'm doing and call, oh, who's there? Well, what's going on? It's just so unhealthy, so excessive to the point where it just creates a lot of issues. Like, you can't pick and choose when it's okay to say, okay, the kids are good, and then if we're not, you know, in a good space, then it's a issue. You know, I've taken my kids to Jamaica. If I was such a bad parent, nobody's gonna let a man take the kids to Jamaica by myself. I didn't have no help, and I don't want a biscuit for it. I did it. You know, it just creates such a level of toxicity that it's better to just be like, you know what? I'm gonna deal with this through the courts, and when this thing gets sorted out how it's supposed to be sorted out, then okay, we'll figure it out. So for the past, you know, few months, that's what I've been dealing with when it came to, you know, looking for lawyers and just trying to figure out this whole thing, because my original standing order for this child support and the visitation and all of that, everything, it originated from Georgia. We moved to Florida. When we moved to Florida, everything has to get transferred over. It just got transferred over like this week. So now I get to find out what this new setup is going to be because I refuse to go to her house to pick up the kids. I refuse. I'm not. It's just too unstable, too unpredictable, and the only way I would do it is either a police precinct or if the kids are somewhere else and I'm picking them up from there. But everything is just done off of spite and being malicious intent on the other end. Me, I don't move like that. I don't live like that. You know, when people look at me, I don't look like I'm carrying stress. I don't look like I'm losing weight. I don't look out. And I want a biscuit for it. I did it, you know? It just creates such a level of toxicity that it's better to just be like, you know what? I'm gonna deal with this through the courts, and when this thing gets sorted out how it's supposed to be sorted out, then okay, we'll figure it out. So for the past, few months, that's what I've been dealing with when it came to, looking for lawyers and just trying to figure out this whole thing because my original standing order for this child support and the visitation and all of that, everything, it originated from Georgia. We moved to Florida. When we moved to Florida, everything has to get transferred over. It just got transferred over like this week. So now I get to find out what this new setup is going to be because I refuse to go to her house to pick up the kids. I refuse. I'm not. It's just too unstable, too unpredictable, and the only...
What the hell? Why did they throw that clip in there?
It's just too unstable, too unpredictable.
Why did they throw this clip in there,
though? And the only way I would do it is either a police precinct or if the kids are somewhere else and I'm picking them up from there. But everything is just done off of spite and being malicious intent on the other end. Me, I don't move like that. But everything is just done off of spite and being malicious intent on the other end. Me, I don't move like that. I don't live like that. You know, when people look at me, I don't look like I'm carrying stress. I don't look like I'm losing weight. I don't look like I'm just harboring so much hate inside me that it physically begins to show. And I'm a father. I'm a grown-ass man. When I have my kids in there with me, they're under my care. They don't have nothing to worry about. So I'm not going to have anybody acting like they need to know every single thing going on. When I was filming Love and Hip Hop, Miami, and I had my kids here calling, oh, where the kids at? What are they doing? Oh, you better not be filming with the kids. Oh. First of all, I've never filmed with the kids ever by myself on Love and Hip Hop. They're not a part of my storyline. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm not gonna be in the park pushing the kids, playing, like, of course they wanted to see me film with them, but both parents have to sign off on that. And that wasn't happening. And
which ain't even wrong. It ain't wrong for her not to want her kids on camera, but he seemed like he don't, he's not pushing that narrative. Like you said, he's not pushing the narrative, pushing the stroller in the park.
The last instant of when we had a transfer with the kids, it was, she called me and said, hey, I'm in the area. I could save you a trip. I could come pick the kids up. And I'm tired and I don't want to do the drive. And it was like really like early in the morning or whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. I let her in, lay down in the kids' room. One of the kids was in there, next to the kids was laying with me in my room. And when she gets up, she's like, she wants to have a conversation with me. I'm like, okay, let's talk. As soon as she starts talking, it's yelling, screaming, all of that. I said, yo, look, I'm not doing that. And if you can't talk to me normally in front of the kids, where the kids don't realize that we're having a discussion about something that we're not agreeing on, then I'm not having it. Oh, I don't give a half, blah, 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 blah. All this yelling, whatever. So I'm like, okay, forget it. Just, You here, pick them up, you can leave. And in my face, all of that, blah, 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 and all that. So I'm like, all right, you don't want to leave. I call the cops. I'm on the phone with the cops. I'm telling them, hey, before this escalates, I would like police presence here because I want her to leave. Filming me calling the cops. Okay, I'm calling the cops. You're filming me. You're the one with the anger management problem just going off. So break stuff up in the house, has the kids running over glass, breaking stuff up outside. After that, I just was like, you know what? If I can't pick up my kids in a place that is like a drop-off point or a police precinct, I'm not picking them up because I'm not going to her house ever again in life. My daughter, she has an iPad. I'm blocked on the iPad. My daughter's 4 years old. She doesn't know how to block people. She doesn't even know how to text. Childish, just like BS like that. So I'm like, okay. The next time I got my kids after that, before that, when I went and I was gonna get a restraining order because, she's doing stuff like showing up in my crib, 5 o'clock in the morning, pulling out a ladder, hopping the fence.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
Oh, she's a savage. Oh, yo, you thought she was just some pretty model? She's a savage, cuz. She just hop. Let me just hop down. Stroll out.
What is that?
She didn't even put the ladder things out all the way. She could have fell. That's crazy. That's breaking and entering right there.
Banging on my windows. My son's birthday party was like a month after that. No, like it was a while after that. And then when I went to the party, they said, hey, you want a restraining order, but you went to a party, she was there, so you must not be in that much fear. So I had to drop that case. And this is me having to have 2 different lawyers. So this is 2 separate lawyers for one lawyer for that, then another lawyer for this whole family court thing. And next time I got them, it was for, beginning of the summer. And I was like, yo, I'll keep the kids for the summer. Let me know. My mother, my sister's here. They love being around them. They want to be around them. That's the issue. I can't reach my daughter's iPad. Pickup situation isn't sorted out. So when I finally do get them, I sign them up for summer camp. She gets so mad at me for signing them up for summer camp. There's a summer camp by my house. She lives 40 minutes away from me. Summer camp. I'm like, cool, I got them. Let me at least do that. Because, they were here. And my mother was like, yo, you can't just be having them here playing, whatever. She was like, they need some, structure. Sign them up for summer camp. I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. I signed them up for the summer camp. I paid for it. I paid $2,000 to put them in summer camp. They went to summer camp for 3 days because she had such an issue with me putting them in summer camp by my house. And was like, why did I talk to her, blah, blah, blah. And it's like,
Sound
okay,
like a headache.
I have the kids. They're under my watch and care. I want to put them in a summer camp by me. And I'm going to show y'all because this is like not just talking just to talk, but put them in summer camp. This was the first month. This is what it was supposed to do. This is what it's supposed to be. This is the schedule. Summer camp July, boom, boom, boom. The entire month. This was going to be their schedule for the entire month. This is their lunch schedule. This is one of the things she made for me in one of the days that she was in summer camp. So I'm like, okay, what's wrong with putting the kids in summer camp? And it just was such a control thing, and it created it created so much drama. Oh, drop the kids off. Oh, you put them in summer camp. Oh, just nothing made absolute any sense. Nothing. Like, it was just such an irate, ignorant conversation to the point where we don't even speak direct. Like, my house is set up for them. I got their shrine set up. This is for them. This is their area. You walk in. This is Maji's room. Ain't no deadbeat doing this. Deadbeats ain't doing this. My daughter's room is bigger than some adults' rooms, and it's just so insane to me how people just, oh yeah, you're a deadbeat. Yo, I know about real deadbeats, and this situation is all about control. This woman texted a naked picture of me to my mother and my sister because she wanted to let them know that, oh, you and your son, I'm pretty sure your son's not telling you what's really going on between us and all of this other nonsense. Okay. Me and you are still, having a relationship, and that's over with. Thank God that's over with. Like, I prayed about that, and there's absolutely nothing physical going on anymore. And you taking naked pictures and sending it to my mother and my sister to do what and prove what? My mother and my sister are the most least problematic people on earth. My mother's not one of those mothers. She's not like a TV mother who's here acting rah-rah and doing a bunch of ignorant nonsense. Like, my mother is so calm and zen, and anyone who knows my mother and my sister and what they do, like my sister and my mom, they are in the holistic field. Everything about them is zen, herbs, teas, spiritual. And you're sending naked pictures of me to my mother and my sister.
Wow.
For what? And it's like, that's the type of nonsense I have to deal with. I cannot ever pick up my kids in peace. Everything is just long and drawn out. And it's just so unfair that when a woman says something, no matter what, it's like, oh, it's the man's fault. People are like, but you didn't know? And I'm kind of like, you know what? Well, I thought I could make somebody not be just like as angry. But then when things just started like going sour and not working out, it just became it's just not even realistic to deal with. I saw somebody say one time, and I totally felt it, and if you're a father, I know you could relate to this. And it's like, they're like, yo, when you're dealing with a woman who makes you being a parent, they just make it so hard. It is so draining dealing with someone who's trying to draw you out, someone who wants a reaction from you, someone who talks about you nonstop because they want a reaction. I'm not one of those people. I don't care about people liking me and caring and proving my point. Like, hey guys, look, no, this isn't true. This is what's really happening. People who know me, my mouth has been quiet for years. I don't say nothing. It's just so draining. Like, everything about it. Like, her own family is going after her for child support because she doesn't do anything to help her son. So then to try to make it seem like I'm some deadbeat and I'm not trying to be there for my kids, I would love to be there for my kids, but it would be nice for you to get out the way. Let me be a father. Let me take my kids and go wherever I want with them. My kids are never in danger. They don't ever have to worry about nothing. This is not about money. This is not about child support. My kids love me.
But Mommy, she was missing you. She was looking for you.
I just want to say, like, doing shit like this don't benefit me. This don't help me. Like, I don't like this kind of attention. That's why I usually never say anything. But this thing has been going on for so long that it's like, how much longer am I going to let ish side. You know, it's so much. It's just so much things to list and name. Like I would have to sit there with a pen and pad and write down every single incident and all that. But I don't. This is I'm doing this one and one time only. Like, but it's just a lot of corny shit. All the fake Instagram pages, harassing my mother, harassing my sister. If I'm talking to a girl, all of a sudden the girl starts getting harassed from the same fake Instagram names, and it's like, yo, it takes so much energy to like be like that, and I don't have that type of energy. Even doing this right now is giving me such a headache, and I'm not the kind of person to get headaches. My head is pounding right now just talking about all this. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna let God is gonna do what God is gonna do, and that's gonna be that. Like this ain't no, it's not a storyline. I'm not on Love and Hip Hop. This is my real life right now. I'm really tired. I heard somebody one time say, like, when you go through things in life, nothing stays the same, nothing lasts forever. And that's kind of how I've been dealing with this. Like, even with as long as I've, not seen my kids, because, whether it's right or wrong, I'm just standing on, I'm not going to your house to pick up the kids. I don't, precinct or somebody from your family's house that I don't have no issue with going over there, and that's that. But like, I'm not putting myself in any position to crash out, potentially snap, lose my, like, come on, because there's people who be in situations like this. Everyone's not able to like be this cool. The shit is draining. When you get to a certain age in life, like, drama and just all of this corny nonsense and fighting and arguing on.
Nah, facts. He's speaking facts, man. When you get to an age, bro, where you just had enough, and you kind of don't want to argue no more. You just want to move about in peace, like the path of least resistance.
The internet, putting your personal business on the internet, on social media, to people who don't like, I don't want no one to feel sorry for me. I don't need sympathy. I don't need pity. I don't care about none of that from nobody. I know at the end of the day what's going on, and that's that. I'm just dealing with someone who doesn't deal with logic. They deal with
emotion.
Their way or no way. And if it's not their way, you're gonna get harassed. And I don't got time. I don't care what nobody's doing. I'm not harassing you. You DMing girls that I was talking to and telling them shit and saying, it's like, it's corny. I did that once. And when I did it, I didn't send pictures and videos and say, look, this is what's happening. I just was like, I want to talk to you because I like on some, hey, look, if this is who you dealing with, I just want to let you know that this is what's happening. And if y'all are dealing, then leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? But this ain't really about that. I'm just trying to have my time and my setup with my kids. My mother and my sister would love for me to bring them to New York and spend some time with them there. And it's just nothing is easy. Everything is a fight. And I don't fight, I don't argue, it's draining. I'm not doing it. So when all this court stuff is said and done, it is what it is. This is not about child support. So this thing it's not about money. It's way bigger than that. It's about let me be a father, stay out the way, and that's it. Stop trying to act like you don't care when you do care. Stop harassing my mother. Stop harassing my sister. Stop harassing anyone that's close to me. And this is not to bash. This is just the truth. This is just what it is. So that narrative that everyone just thinks is so cool to run, like you use common sense. If I haven't seen my kids, there is a reason. And this is the reason. You're going to see it. You're going to see everything.
So he said it right there. You're gonna see it in the coming future. She got the ladder from Home Depot. Wow, look at her. She's getting it. She gonna get where she gotta go. Look. That's crazy. Hey man, if you're in the chat right now, like and subscribe. Also, throw $1 in the Cash App. That shit goes a long way. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, this lady nuts. That's crazy. The child's remembering that, you know. Like, look at the kids they're just trying to help. That's crazy. That's sad right there. Wow, come on, man. Oh, she's nuts. She said, come on, kids. They walking in glass? Oh, that's crazy. She's crazy. She's a nut. She's a nut. No matter what, she's a nut. The baby, she don't even give a fuck what the baby's doing. That's crazy. Yeah, that bitch could die. She ain't no good. Let's be real. Fuck all that shit. We ain't in there. Abusive grandmother blacks granddaughter's eye. Wow, that's fucked up. What the hell's wrong with this, bro? It's on camera. Evil teen realizes his horrifying secret is caught. The real reason teens think it's okay to disrespect police. It was a perfect life online until she was found dead. That shit is crazy. You fucking dummy. A racist Karen realizes she's going to jail for murder. Racist ass lady. Enriched woman chooses violence in Starbucks drive-thru. Get out of here, bitch. To catch a genius. Detectives discover the suspect is a monster. You cut your niece into pieces? Laughing. Jesus Christ, bro. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Mom horrified after 12-year-old son's confession. Aw, man. Leave the kids alone, bro. That shit is nuts. Dad realizes he's going to jail for doing this to his son. What the fuck? That's creepy. Drunk killer realizes he's been caught. Man, nobody wants to see that. Well, I think that SAFAREE, man, he needs to get out of that relationship. Because that shit seemed like he could be in jail soon, man, for popping off. Like, the way, I mean, she should be in jail for hitting the man first. You know what I mean? Let's see what Sean Atwood has to say. Shout out Sean Atwood.
I've had 10 attempts on my life.
10?
I survived because I survived because God says so, because God sees fit to. Yes. And 3 of those times I was poisoned while I was in police and hospital custody, while they were trying to convince the world I was a schizophrenic. And I kept proving my sanity every time, which is why they have to let me out. I've been double stuck with Haldol, Thorazine, been given lithium. I've been drugged with enough drugs to put down a baby elephant and left sitting in a chair for 4 days at Parkland Psych Hospital. Cops came with AI video and pictures that was supposed to be me that was altered in the hospital, believe me. Kept me drugged for days.
Wow. Question from AR. How do you feel about your
I've been through
outstanding
some stuff.
vocals? How do you feel about your outstanding vocals and music at this moment? That's from AR.
I love my music. I love my catalog.
Oh, wow, this is live. So they actually, Sean Atwood is live with Jaguar Wright right now.
It's a shame they've been stealing it from me, and I'm not allowed to properly, benefit off of my hard work and effort because I wrote all of it. I arranged all of it. I produced a good share of it. I'm very proud of it, but I'm even more proud of the 600 songs that I've recorded, cataloged, and held on to and refused to publish or release as long as I couldn't do it accurately and integrally as an independent artist. I'm more proud about the catalog that everyone hasn't heard. That's amazing. Some of the best work I've ever done has been sitting in my private vault, but I listen to wise people that brought me knowledge in this business, and Prince Rogers Nelson was one of them. When I would perform at First Avenue in Minneapolis, he would come and see me perform, even when I wasn't with the Roots. He was very special, and he was a great fighter for independent art and work and one's right to profit off of God's gift. And he said to me one day, don't sign another contract, don't release another record. Wait for technology to catch up to your imagination. And when it does, you do you. And I think I've lived to that time. And I'm glad that I did. And I can't wait for everyone else to have it. Once we secure our own server, all of that music will now be available for you. And we'll be able to give you compilations and greatest hits and a bunch of unreleased music that's still timeless to this day. And I'm just proud of that. So that's how I feel.
Fantastic. There's nothing more important than your art. Question from Sharon. Mary J. Blige must have been around in your party time. How much is still unsaid about her?
Everything is really unsaid about her. What they've said about her is so minuscule.
Shout out to FJV, man, on Cash App. Just sent $4.
Of her assaulting a woman with the diddler and stating in the video, this is my rite of passage in some kind of satanic ritual. I think people should really look more into why every other woman from that era, including me, she tried to trash and destroy their relationships. She was just as much a terror to female artists as Beyonce Giselle Knowles is now. And with Mary bowing down to her, it just goes to show you that there's some kind of weird order that's happening here, and people need to start holding every member of the evil cabal responsible for the things that they've done. It has been stated on more than several occasions she has had inappropriate sexual relationships with young men under the age of 18. We're talking SA. We're talking Stat R. We are talking that Danny Boy was 16 and she was 24.
Wow.
There is evidence that she also had dealings with Usher when he was underage. I don't know why everyone keeps looking away from this very sad and very troubled person who was also a closeted lesbian. It's nasty.
You got a lot of people. You got a lot of people asking about mine.
She played Ghislaine, the way she played Ghislaine for Diddy, the way she handled up and spied on Cassie, the way she handled up and spied on Carisha, the things that she's done in plain sight that nobody want to see. People I don't know why they don't get it. She was Carisha before Carisha. I don't get it. You got
a lot of people asking about minors at freak-offs and whether Diddy's criminal charges minors will be added.
They are. They're being added as we speak. What I feel, what bothers me the most is the children, the sons, the boys. Quincy, God bless him. He has nothing to do with this foolishness, but Justin and Christian, wanting to be like your father and emulate your father. There's nothing wrong with that. But when your father is the devil, they're carrying on some things, and there's going to be some cases with them. And there are people that are saying, and there are even other children who have grown up in Hollywood and Calabasas who I know that I cannot reveal their name for their safety, because they're betraying their family talking to me. That's why I know some of the things that I know.
Question from Susan. Do you think Bieber, Usher, etc., or anyone else will come forward?
I pray that Justin Bieber will. I just hope that he can do it before they plan a story for him. Justin Bieber, I see him no different than Tevin Campbell.
Thoughts?
And now I look at Bashir. See, they get their kids to bring their friends home to their houses. And then, they're rich and famous, and they're the fun parents. They're the cool parents, and they watch blockbuster movies with those kids. And then the kids that they can stay the night and hang out with their friends. And when they go to sleep in their friend's room, they take their children out and they walk in, allegedly.
Simply Deep's asking for your thoughts on the Vince McMahon scandal.
I'll have to decline and say that I'll have to comment on that at another time.
No problem. Is Ali Carter being... Next question is Ali Carter being silenced?
I'm sure she is. I hope it's not my fault. I made an outcry to her that I'm willing to talk to her. I had said I didn't want to for quite some time. A lot of people try to latch on to me to validate their stories and claims. And I've had some incidences where it's been absolutely false. And the very person that I started out advocating for, I ended up investigating. Like Legina Gold, who was the alleged secret love child of R. Kelly and Aaliyah, to which I have evidence of and have done a full podcast series on called Revealing Legina Gold, that not only did she know it was a lie, she's received almost over $100,000 in cash apps, gifts, money wire transfer. So I have to be very careful, but I prayed on it. It was put upon my spirit to issue out that invitation to a conversation with Ali Carter. And ever since then, it's been
Question from Golden Beads. Are the Kardashians part of this? What role
Absolutely.
do they play?
They are witches. Evil. And where you see them, only death and destruction will follow. The simple fact that she could unfollow Diddy make it out before anyone got to him and he was raided, but he left his children there and nobody. The simple fact that it is now being said that there are catch and kill tapes with her on multiple tapes.
Hey, Chad, let me know if anybody watching, let me know if it's choppy, if the stream is choppy or if it's playing.
We already know she don't have a problem with having sex on camera. According to Ray J, her mother likes to film her with men and leak it to the internet because that's what Ray J said himself, that it was Kris Jenner that filmed him and Kim together, and they did more than one tape because apparently she didn't like the first production. They had to beef it up.
Hey, that part is crazy. We know Kris Jenner, she's dark.
But what mother?
Question from Martha. How is your husband and family dealing with the level of scrutiny you are under?
Well, I'm newly divorced and I'm engaged.
Oh, congratulations.
So I really don't care what any of my former spouses think. And considering that my fiance is not only my producer, but he's become my best friend.
Oh.
And he supports me completely in all that I do as I support him because he's also an investigative journalist. So we're two newsies in love. And the stress is the stress. The truth is when we log off from work, because that's what this is for us, it's work, it's just us. And do we talk about work? Yeah, we do. But we also talk about what we're having for dessert or when we're going hiking or we live our life. That's what we do. That's how it is.
You're in a good place, definitely. People are asking about, do you think it's going to go to trial or plea bargain or that he will get Epsteined?
If Jay-Z can't guarantee their upper bosses that he can fill in and hold the reins and bring the scrutiny down on the overall business model, then I don't think there will be a reason to keep Sean Combs around because they're going to have to scrap this whole model and create a new one, which means they're going to have to bring new bad guys in. You know, that's what everybody's worried about. They're all worried about maintaining their spot. You know, that's why a lot of these young guys like, you know, Bow Wow are running around lamenting the freak-offs. It's not the same without Diddy. It ain't fun no more. All that abuse, all the crime. Sorry, it's not working out for your social life, Shad. You know, they move the goalpost. Like the young guys, like Nick Cannon, who grew up in the business, like Orlando Brown, who grew up in the business, like Ray J, who grew up in the business, like Bow Wow, who grew up in the business. They're all subject to the Diddy party reign, you know, and they grew up watching all of this terrible. They were told, look at what happens, how you're rewarded when you're so terrible. And one day when you become as big an asshole as me, they'll give you a job too. And now with Diddy in jail and the whole construct, these kids are reeling. They're really their basis. Because if they take it all away, then They did all of that for what? Does that make sense?
Yep. Gordon has got a question for you.
Look
Can
at
the lawyer...
Mills. It's just a mess.
Gordon's asking whether the lawyers and attorneys in these cases can be trusted, or they're part of the problem.
They're lawyers. They're lawyers. I'm hoping 50-50, but it's probably more like 75-25, don't believe them versus believe them. I mean, the simple fact that before any preliminary hearings, Diddy's trial happened, they're already doing catch and kills. It says a lot, because there should be none of that happening at all. There should be a federal order that if any of this comes to your office, to your desk, you report to us if it has any involvement with the Diddler. Like, that just seems like that should have just been a mandated order. It shouldn't have been left up to a lawyer who might need to make some money as the economy is declining. You know, of course, they're going to take the money in the settlement before going to court. Going to court costs a lot of money. They also have to pay a staff. They have to pay for their researchers. There's a lot more profit in a catch and kill than there is in a trial. So I don't know. I think the federal government is being very selective of what they're allowing to happen, because if a federal order comes down, even lawyers have to pay attention to it.
So you're saying there's
catch and kill just screams protection. Oh, there's going to be a ton of it. A ton of it. You know, and they hope that that happens too, because it creates a lot of competing theories, a lot of competing voices, and which creates a greater distraction. And then the next thing you know, this is getting dropped, that's getting dropped. Look at Harvey Weinstein. Oh, they had him fit to be tied for a little bit of forever, and now his charges are being dropped one by one.
Yeah, when they're in the news, they give them a big sentence, and then they get some backsheesh to a high court's appeal judge, and they're out the back door. So Fox is asking, can JAG confirm, have you been called as a witness or asked to give evidence?
On that, I'm going to have to plead the fifth. That's all I can say.
Okay.
I wish I could answer. But for the safety of myself and for the people that I stand up for, me even saying that could get someone hurt. So
a lot of people are asking for your thoughts.
I can give.
A lot of people are asking for your thoughts on Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston.
Yes.
What's your thoughts?
Clive Davis should go to jail for life. And Quincy Jones should probably go with him. But considering how old they are, what was allowed to happen to Whitney and Michael and Prince was disgusting. It was terrible. It was awful. And all of the people who signed up to help these nasty campaigns, and I'm going to say this right here and right now, what you did to Monique Oprah was terrible. But what you did to the legacy of Michael Jackson was 10 times worse. To sit there to pretend to be his friend on camera. But I mean, you kind of did the same thing with Luther Vandross when you humiliated him on his deathbed. When you brought everyone into his hospital room so that they could see him at his weakest, at his most awful, at his most terrible, and then do nothing to support his legacy or his catalog when he passed away. That's the kind of friend you are. But what you did to Michael Jackson and his legacy, after those boys had already recanted their story and forced to say that he had done something to him, then you want to bring them back to encourage them to say the opposite, to hurt the auction. Like you're beyond a culture vulture. You're beyond that. Has anyone even asked her to explain what happened to all of those girls that went missing in that school in Africa? Like she gets away with a lot. Meanwhile, everyone's feeling sorry for her as her weight fluctuates up and down, and she convinces people to buy medication that gives them constant diarrhea.
All right, we've got 5 minutes left, folks. Get your questions in. Bad Monkey wants to know about Kim
And as
Porter.
far as Whitney Houston is concerned, I have been very clear. And now Kim Porter?
Kim Porter, yes, please.
You should listen to the man who actually truly loved her. Albert Brown, Sr., also known as Albie Shore. You should listen to everything that he has to say about that, and I support him 100%. His life has been almost claimed on 3 different occasions, advocating for Kim's unalivement to be properly investigated. Corey Gamble had no business being there at that house that morning. There are a lot of things that are wrong. And the convoluted details behind the so-called tell-all book, which contains some real evidence and then a lot of fake evidence to muddy the waters. I think all of these diversionary tactics are enough to say it is time to exhume her. It is time to give that the proper investigation that deserves. I think every child that she has needs that closure, and the man that really loved her probably needs it the most. And that's what I have to say about that.
What about Kim's last words? Do you think that's legit, the book? I read it recently.
Pieces of it are. And the only reason I can say that is because I've seen those pieces myself. Like anyone who's lying, saying, see, that's the thing. Kim's book, nobody has it all. That day at the Ivy, she left a flash drive, she left a laptop, and she left a burner phone. I wasn't sure which one Cassie had. I knew she had one of the 3 that day. Cassie and Kim met before her passing at the Ivy. I knew somebody that worked in the kitchen. I'm also a qualified chef, Tornade. Very talented woman in many ways. And there were 3 things that were in that kitchen that I know were there. A laptop, a burner phone, and a flash drive. Kim was smart. As many times as her laptop had been corrupted and stolen in the past, she was smart. The truth is out there. Nobody has it in full. That I can say for sure. But whatever Cassie walked out with and what it's looking like from the lawsuit, it was the burner phone. It was enough to save her life. Kim Porter is a hero. And I'm sick and tired of people playing with her legacy. But if you really want to know what's good with Kim Porter, then you'll just simply ask the man she was married to and loved and forced to leave for reasons which I cannot speak on because it's not for me to say. But Albert Brown Sr. was an amazing artist, an incredible writer, a wonderful husband, and a very loving and doting father and grandfather. There are very few people that knew Kim Porter better than him.
Jaguar, do you have anything to say in conclusion to the viewers?
For those of you who believe me, congratulations, you're not insane. For those of you who don't, I'll pray for you because you're going to be tormented watching everything that's about to happen next. But do yourself one big favor. Take me out of it. Take all the whistleblowers out of it. There are facts and there is evidence. What you choose to accept and what you choose to reject, that is your choice and your choice alone. But understand, that only dictates the quality of your mind. Clean up your minds. In the words of Sophia Stewart.
Clean up your minds, people.
Clean up your minds.
Jaguar's links are in the description box. Please support Jaguar's work. My next guest, Lionel, is about to come in. Jaguar, are you all right to take one question from him as he comes in?
Absolutely, I'd love to, Sean.
All right,
and
Lionel.
Shane, good on you. Cheers.
Lionel, you're live with Jaguar Wright. We're breaking the internet right now. There's 13,000 people watching. Have you got a question for Jaguar? Have you got a question for Jaguar Wright before she goes, Lionel?
What is the most compelling evidence that you have? The one piece of evidence, the one piece that you think is the most critical.
A person.
A person.
Yes, she's very special to me. At one point in time, she was mentored by the Carters. She refused to sign an NDA, and her life has been hell ever since. I've also been looking over her, watching out for her ever since. Unfortunately for her, she also dated Jay Prince Jr. I'm sure at one time she thought that that would make her safe. And then after takeoff, it's been a shadow of a life for her. She's an amazing artist. She's such a lovely young woman. And I promised her after her sister died, the last time we dared to visit each other in person,
Jaguar gets it.
that I would see her through and that she would finally have her career cruelty-free. Exactly who she is. And if you're watching now, baby girl, it's time to come outside.
It's time to come outside.
And I love you.
She loves you, man. Straight up.
Thank you, Jaguar. Very powerful
That's
story.
my
And
most
we appreciate you spending time with us. You're a powerful speaker, and you have a
You gotta understand, yeah, like this is serious.
day. And thank you for answering all these questions. Take care. Right. Bye.
Yeah, this is serious. Because you know, like you have to understand, her life is definitely in danger. Outing people the way she does, which is ultimately like just she's a tool for the universe to for the people. Well, you're right. Who has dated Jay Prince? She said Jay Prince Jr., right? Did she say Jay Prince Jr., chat? I can't remember. Let me see. Wait. Jaguar Wright, Jay Prince Jr. Or Jay Prince. Who was it? Jaguar Wright. Let's see. Somebody help me. Who dated Jay Prince? Who is she talking about? I'm confused. I need help. Let's bypass this little ad real quick.
Story number two. All right. I went back and forth on whether or not I was going to cover this, but Jaguar Wright went on Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan had Jaguar Wright on, and then he had DJ Vlad, and then he had lawyer for one of Diddy's accusers, Ariel Mitchell Kidd. Okay. And they're talking about the Diddy case, of course. Now, Jaguar Wright has, first of all, she's an incredibly talented artist. I got to say that. You know, I think it's, you know, regardless of her public persona.
You're right. Type in woman with J. Prince Jr. Okay, J. Prince Jr. ex-girlfriend or girlfriend, right? No, we're gonna go with yours. Woman with J. Prince Jr. Let's see. Let's look on some images. Google Images. You're watching everything. Okay, let's type in woman accused. Woman accused J. Prince Jr. Accuses. Is that a word? That's a word, right? That goes off on J. Prince Jr. No, let's see. Tamar Braxton says ex Junior used her what? Used her card? Yes, we go to all. On alleged accusations surrounding him and mob ties. What? Left side? Bama. Right here? Oh, there's Drake and all his people. There's Junior right there. Oh, what's this? This lady? Let's get it. We're going to figure this out, man. Who is this woman that is accusing J. Prince Jr.? I don't have TikTok, so let's figure this out. Will they let us play it? Let's talk about it. Now, where's the fucking lady with the jumpsuit? I mean, because Prince was alright. Yo, cuz a legend. I'm not gonna lie. But, yeah, I don't know, dude. Let me see. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Oh, right here. Whack goes off on J. Prince Jr. and accuses. Shout out Sippin' Tati. Sippin' Tati.
There's a rhythm in the markets.
Bypass that little ad real quick. Yeah, what the fuck? Why is it making us watch that shit? Alright, here it goes. See, that's another one.
Oh, it's all okay.
I heard that too. There's something about his catalog. Oh, look.
About a week or two, he starts an argument in the strip club, trying to debo some niggas' girls.
J. Prince Jr.
Yeah, Junior.
So he starts an argument trying to take some bitches from some dudes.
Just like Debo on him. You know, dude be taking pussy and he aggressive with the women.
Well, don't say taking pussy.
He got cases, bro. He got cases.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, seal files, all kind of shit. I got the lady in Atlanta. He got the last one. She from Come On Clubhouse. I've spent some money and contacted her. But nevertheless, his security, Mikey Mike, right?
Okay.
So Jay Prince Jr. puts this dude in a situation. He on some bullshit that don't need to be happening. Next thing you know, boom, hit him in the face. Shoot him, right?
They shot him?
Yeah.
They shot the guy that they were trying to take the girls from?
No. They shot the security with Jay Prince Jr.
Oh.
So instead of Jay Prince Jr. going up here and handle his business, right, he get into all this shit. Now, he ain't the one shot him. He ain't want his man shot. But because of his dumbass actions, right, he get his man hit. He tracks out, runs to a club like 29 or something. They won't let him in because the last time the shit happened with Takeoff, he ran over there and damn near got the club indicted. They're like, nigga, you can't come in here. We already got the call.
Wow.
So he go hides out, leave his man over there. Man could have been alive, but he don't, you know, he tracks out to Atlanta, right? But this is what's ugly. I get the call an hour ago saying, what? They ain't contributing to the dude's funeral. They sent me the obituary and everything, right? But 4 days ago, I get a call from this chick. She say, Wack, get off Jay Prince Jr. I said, what you mean? Get off him? What you mean? Leave him alone. I was with him. I've been with him for a few years. He got a call. He stepped out on the balcony. I hear him saying, okay, what, 80 to 100? Okay, I'm out the way. He hangs up, calls somebody else and say, hey, get from over there, stay from over there. Then, you know, they say they gonna come through. They talking about 80 to 100. So I tell the chick, he probably doing some dirty talking on the phone about some marijuana, some dumb shit, right? I'm on Clubhouse telling my Houston boys, yo, boom, 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 this same story. They wave me down. They say, yo, Wack, the feds just did a sweep and picked up 100 yesterday.
Wow.
100 pounds.
100 people.
People.
Yesterday. So the call he was having, I was wrong. It wasn't about that. It's about, so I'm like, they said, Wack, how you tell us this 3 days ago about this call you got, right? I said, yo, y'all know dude ain't right. He ain't all the way right anyway. So I'm sitting back and I'm watching the show.
What I really want to do is I want to look up Prince death tied to Jay-Z and Beyonce. Ooh, that's a Google search right there. They definitely coming to shut me down. What's the death? What Prince's death means for Tidal? Oh no. Cat Williams exposes Jay-Z's involvement in Prince's death in jaw-dropping revelation. Oh no. Are we on something? Are we on to something here? Oh, it's getting deep. It's too deep. It's too deep. Let's get rid of this guy real quick. Number one shoe for all day comfort. Okay. Shout out him. Get this guy out of here.
And a guy that was always 30 steps ahead of whatever the curve was.
Like, I want to leave. I just want to, you know, talk about this thing and see if we can't make it more fair. Of course, they wouldn't change, because if they changed, they wouldn't really exist.
He got left out on a limb and somehow still had to create his way out of that. He was just really a one in a billion type person. I was lucky to know.
8 years ago, the world was stunned by the departure of Prince, sparking a whirlwind of speculation and rumors about the circumstances surrounding his passing. Now brace yourself, as whispers suggest that Cat Williams, known for his recent outspokenness and revelations, might shed light on the mystery. With Cat's penchant for uncovering truths and offering glimpses behind the curtain of the entertainment world, and it involves Jay-Z name, there's talk that he's poised to delve even further into the shadows to unveil what truly transpired with Prince. You might be tempted to dismiss it as just Cat being Cat, but remember, everything he revealed in that infamous interview turned out to be true. Plus, Cat and Prince were close pals, so it's not outlandish to think he might have some insider knowledge. Could we finally be getting some closure on one of music's greatest mysteries? According to Cat, it's about time the truth came out, and he's ready to take on the task. Let's dive into it. Alright, so we all recall the narrative that was presented to us. Prince, the iconic artist, passed away at 57, discovered unresponsive in his Minnesota estate. The official explanation was an accidental fentanyl overdose, attributed to counterfeit Vicodin laced with a potent synthetic opioid. But let's face it, that explanation left many of us with lingering questions, ones that still hang in the air today. Now, before we delve into the mystery, let's address why Cat Williams might be the one to...
Don't you notice though they use that excuse for everybody that has a relationship with the people and a strong bond, and has, you know, they have can't think of the word, but the people listen to what they say. So when those people go, it seems like every time they go, it's about a drug overdose. You know what I mean? How many of those aren't really drug overdoses?
Spill the beans. Turns out, Cat and Prince were tight. They were as close as can be, like peanut butter and jelly. In that unforgettable interview with Club Shay Shay, Cat let slip that Prince wasn't just an
You know what's crazy is Cat Williams reminds me of Prince a little bit. It's like he's like a cousin of Prince, straight up. Cat Williams is like Prince's little cousin, here to save the world.
He was a real friend. Shannon
Cat
Sharp,
Williams.
the interviewer himself, asked Cat about meeting Prince, and Cat casually revealed that Prince was more than just a passing acquaintance.
He was just an amazing individual. I was able to meet him when I was 12, and I knew him my entire life through all of his changes.
With Shannon displaying his fanboy admiration for Prince's unparalleled talents, his mastery of multiple instruments, his mesmerizing performances encompassing singing and dancing, Cat simply nods along, affirming that Prince was indeed in a league of his own. He goes further, hinting at the depth of their bond by suggesting he knew Prince his entire life. Cat spills the beans on their profound connection, sharing glimpses of their discussions on everything from lyrics and music to women and cars. Yes, apparently, Prince's car collection is not just about vehicles. It's intertwined with stories, and Cat Williams is a part of that narrative. They were in sync on the essentials: musical genius, appreciation for the ladies, and naturally, a love for those sweet rides. Cat even hints at how they supported each other through various challenges, especially in navigating the harsh realities of the music business.
Because we share certain things. Our connection was lyrics, musical lyrics, women, and cars.
So, when Cat Williams hints that he's privy to the real story behind Prince's departure, it's not just some random speculation. He's someone who was there, someone who shared more than just a few laughs with the Purple One. In a 2022 interview with Arsenio Hall, Cat spilled the beans on how he was inspired by Prince and spent a cool 5 years as a rapper before transitioning into the comedy scene. It all began after a meetup with Prince at the tender age of 12 in Dayton, Ohio, where Prince was performing at the University of Dayton Arena. According to Cat, this encounter marked the beginning of a lifelong connection, with Prince serving as a guiding force. He even credits the legendary singer for boosting his self-esteem, attributing his confident swagger to Prince's influence.
I met Prince when I was 12.
Where did you meet Prince when you were 12?
In Dayton. After he performed at UD Arena. Yeah, I mean, I knew him my whole life.
In his trademark style, Cat drops some wisdom about Prince being a high thinker, always steps ahead of the curve. While we all know Prince was a musical genius, playing more instruments than most of us can name, here's the kicker. Cat suggests that Prince also imparted lessons about embracing one's uniqueness.
He let me know that you could be short and light-skinned with long hair, and people could make fun of you, but as long as women loved you.
Now, let's venture into the unsettling territory. Some fans are drawing connections between Kat's statement about Prince always being 30 steps ahead and the cryptic remarks Prince made before his passing. They're piecing together theories suggesting that perhaps Kat was privy to something Prince knew, something sinister. There's speculation swirling around, hinting at potential plots against Prince. You know how Prince was notorious for dropping cryptic lines, and some believe he might have confided in Kat. Let's delve deep into the rabbit hole of theories surrounding Prince's death, because some individuals out there believe that the official reports are nothing but a pile of lies. Prince's insights into Hollywood took on a more ominous tone when he tragically passed away in an elevator. The circumstances surrounding Prince's death inside an elevator were particularly eerie, according to L.A. Reid, especially given Prince's known apprehensions about elevators. As depicted in the following video from E.T., Prince's friend Reid discussed the unsettling discovery of Prince's lifeless body in an elevator.
One time when I was with him privately, he said, "You know what the elevator is, right?" No. I said, "No, what's the elevator?" He said, "Well, the elevator is the devil."
According to E.T., Reid shared Prince's aversion to elevators. Prince held a belief that elevators were sinister in nature, often referring to them as instruments of the devil. This perspective on elevators was encapsulated in Prince's 1984 song, Let's Go Crazy. In the song's lyrics, Prince likened elevators to malevolent forces that might attempt to bring a person down. He sang about the struggle to ascend by pressing a higher floor button, symbolizing his defiance against the negative influence he associated with elevators. He sings, "And if the elevator tries to bring you down, go crazy, punch a higher floor. If you don't like the world you're living in, take a look around you. At least you got friends. You see, I called my old lady. For a friendly word, she picked up the phone, dropped it on the floor. Is all I heard. Are we gonna let the elevator bring us down? Oh no, let's go." Reid recounted a conversation he had with Prince regarding the artist's feelings about elevators. This discussion left Reid feeling uncomfortable as it delved into the topic of the devil, something he was uneasy discussing. The news of Prince's lifeless discovery in an elevator on the first floor of Paisley Park, Prince's residence and studio, deeply perturbed Reid, given the context of their previous conversation. One time when I was with him privately, he said, "You know what the elevator is, right?" I said, "No, what's the elevator?" He said, "Well, the elevator is the devil." It scared me. I don't like to talk like that, but he said that. So for me, it was like really haunting when I read that he was found in an elevator, which was what triggered the public because they think it might connect to him being outspoken against the industry. Prince undeniably stands as one of the most influential musicians in history, with a remarkable career that extended across more than 4 decades. His legendary status within the music industry is underscored by the extraordinary achievement of selling over 100 million records worldwide, a distinction attained by only a select few. Prince's global influence is immeasurable, and although he is primarily celebrated for his music, he also made forays into the realm of film. Prince's versatility as an artist extended beyond his music and encompassed his image, where he attained the status of an S symbol by embracing an androgynous S, challenging traditional gender norms, and breaking free from racial stereotypes. His bands frequently included talented female members, and he consistently championed women within the music industry throughout his illustrious career. However, his dedication to women's empowerment also generated a range of rumors and speculations, ultimately contributing to his growing disillusionment with the industry.
Don't be fooled by the internet. It's cool. It's cool to get it.
In the music industry, Prince, who sadly passed away at the age of 57, emerged as a trailblazer and, at times, a contentious champion of artist rights. Throughout the 1990s, he engaged in open conflicts with the music industry, resorting to protests such as etching the word slave onto his cheek and adopting an unpronounceable glyph as his name. These bold actions were his means of expressing profound dissatisfaction with the major label system. He said, "Record contracts are just like, I'm going to say the word slavery. I would tell any young artist, don't sign." Furthermore, in a 1996 interview with the Los Angeles Times, Prince conveyed such a deep distaste for the music industry that he disclosed a longing to have pursued an entirely different career. He exclaimed, "If I knew the things I know now before, I wouldn't be in the music industry." If Prince were an emerging artist in 2022, he would likely have thrived in the contemporary music landscape. Today's artists enjoy more autonomy and are not as reliant on major labels to manage their careers. Prince, with his musical ingenuity and entrepreneurial mindset, proved that artists could be both creative powerhouses and astute entrepreneurs, challenging the traditional belief that such decisions should be exclusively dictated by corporate executives.
There is a war going on. The battlefield's in the mind. and the prize is the soul.
When contemplating Prince, our minds conjure the image of a versatile genius, adept at composing, producing, mastering various musical instruments, and possessing dance skills that rivaled even his backing performers. Elevating Prince to the forefront of our consciousness, we unmistakably associate him with sensuality, evident through his overtly provocative style. His music becomes synonymous with intimate, bedroom-friendly melodies, and we perceive the man, in his own renowned words, as an individual of immense allure and magnetism.
Mainly, I sensed a great deal of negativity and entropy in the music. There's a disintegration.
However, in the midst of the undeniable S undertones prevalent in Prince's music, and even within his persona, we also discover another facet that has historically clashed with S religion. Indeed, the complex interplay between S and religion has been a source of tension, with the Catholic Church, for instance, long considering the topic a taboo,